Hey everyone, this is Shantae Press back on the Healthy Baby Journey, and as usual I'm trying to rush this video before the baby wakes up and my daughter's down for nap and all that craziness. But this video is all about my birthing story, and it's taken me absolutely forever to make the video because I have been still settling in and transitioning with the new baby. But I said, okay, by the end of this weekend I'm getting this video done, come hell or high water. And here we go. So it's Sunday, so I have a few, what time is it? I have a few more hours to get this done and posted. So birthing story. Literally I felt like I was in labor off and on for about 3 weeks. Nothing severe or anything like that, but I started having pregnancy type contractions, not just the Braxton Hicks, about 3 or 4 weeks before the baby was actually born. And they continue off and on, literally almost every day, off and on, until I went into full on active labor. And the weekend before I was 40 weeks pregnant, I just told my husband, I said, you know what? This weekend I'm doing everything that Google and other moms say makes a baby come. Because with my other two pregnancies, I had my babies around 37, 38 weeks. So I really thought that this would follow suit, but it didn't. So the weekend before, I had spicy foods. On that Saturday, I did a dance marathon. I'm actually posting a video of me and my son doing the nae together, which is hilarious. I didn't even know my husband was videotaping it, but he was, because he knows his wife that I probably would have wanted to capture that moment, and he did. So whoop whoop. You guys can check that out on the blog as well. What else? I had sex. I went up and down the stairs a bunch of times, running, jogging, lifting weights, walking around the neighborhood, primrose oil, herbal teas that help. I mean, just everything, you name it. And finally, a couple of days into that, I felt like, okay, this is really revving up and we're going to have a baby soon. So the next morning I woke up and I felt like I was, in really having early labor contractions, not just another false alarm. So it was about 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, and with all of my babies I went into labor around that same time. But I really felt like, since this was my third baby, it's going to be super fast, like 2 to 4 hours tops. My last pregnancy with my daughter, I had her within 8 hours. So I'm thinking like, oh yeah, I got this. This is so going to be like a 3, 4 hour labor and delivery process. Not exactly. But anyway, I woke up, like I said, about 5, 6 in the morning. I didn't want to call my midwife quite that early because I wanted to make sure, I'm really in labor before I wake her up and get her coming over and all that kind of stuff. So I told my husband, and he was like, okay, well, I won't go to work and I'll get our son off to school. We had already prepared for my daughter to be with us during the whole labor and delivery process. So he got her breakfast and kind of, put her in a position where she could chill until we kind of figured out what was going on. So I called my midwife, I want to say between 7 and 8 o'clock in the morning. And she said, well, go ahead and get a nice big breakfast, drink lots of water, and lay down and see if you can get a nap. And I'm thinking to myself, a nap? By the time I eat breakfast and drink my water and get a shower and put clothes on, this baby will be ready to come out. But I listened to my midwife. She's been with me through all of my pregnancies and labor and delivery, so I know she knows what she's talking about. So I listened to her, did that. Actually was able to get about an hour nap in, gave her a call back, and she said, well, the way that you're sounding and what you're feeling right now, I think that you should go ahead and go to the mall with your husband and your daughter and just kind of walk the mall to help, labor along. So I'm thinking to myself, by the time I get to the mall, the baby's going to be like popping out and you're not even going to be there. But I didn't say that. Once again, I trusted and listened, and good thing I did because, of course, I literally labored all day long. So we went to the mall. My dad met us there because he was going to capture a lot of photos and videos during the process, and he did that. People in the mall were looking at me every contraction like, lady, I think you need to get up out of here because you're going to be having a baby soon. But I know my body, and I kept my midwife, on the phone, updating her on what was going on, how I was feeling, how far apart the contractions were. Dad's videotaping and taking pictures. My husband's being the best birthing partner ever. So we stayed at the mall, I would say probably about a little over an hour or so. And then after that, the midwife checked me to see, actually, no, not at that point. My midwife actually said, well, just go back home and see if you can get some more food in you. She told me a few things that she wanted me to drink to kind of keep my electrolytes up and things like that. So we get back home, and I'm still just saying to myself, like, why do I not feel like active labor is here yet? And why is this baby not here yet? Because at this point, we're like 4 or 5 hours into the process. So I listen to her. I go back home. She's still kind of coaching me over the phone because at that point, it wasn't really to the point where she needed to be with me. So at that point, you know, we're going through the house, and I'm rocking back and forth, and I'm listening to a lot of gospel inspirational music just to keep me positive and, you know, stay in the right headspace during the labor and delivery, because that's really where it's at. That's what's most important, to keep your body right and to make sure that you're not spazzing out or in an overwhelming amount of pain, because so much of labor and delivery is mental over physical. So I'm doing the stairs, I'm listening to her, listening to my husband, I'm eating, I'm drinking what they want me to drink, and the contractions are getting closer and stronger. So I progress a little bit more. Then my midwife checks me, and I'm about 4 centimeters at this point. And I'm thinking to myself, like, you really got to be kidding me. How much longer is this going to take? So, but once I got to 4 centimeters, things really started to rev up, because that's when you're really getting closer to the active labor portion. So at that point, contractions are getting closer, they're getting stronger. I'm walking with my husband around the house and holding on to his shoulders, and as I'm rocking back and forth with each contraction and making sure I'm breathing properly, keeping my inspirational music on. My dad's still catching video and photos, and it's just, you know, moving right along. And then midwife checks me again, and I'm like almost 7 centimeters, and at that point it's like, okay, we're gonna have us a baby soon, you know. And time continues to go by, but at that point it starts to get quicker and quicker and quicker. My family that I had present, that I wanted to have with me during the delivery process, were my mom, my husband, of course, he was already with me, my dad, my mother-in-law, my sister, my daughter, and am I leaving anybody out? I think that's it. Yeah, I think those is my family that was with me during the process. And my husband was my main birthing partner, but my sister did like hold my hand a few times, and I almost like broke her wrist off, but she was such a trooper, and she was really good. And she was like thinking, like, why are you not like having some type of a medication to help with the pain? This is ridiculous. Who does this? But she's young, and you know, everybody does things differently. And my daughter's in there, and she's just doing so good, and of course asking questions, but you know, kind of keeping it calm and quiet, because she understood and kind of knew what was going on. And my husband made sure, you know, he kept her, you know, my mother-in-law and my mom, you know, kept her occupied, and you know, explaining to her, you know, each part of the process, what was going on. Contractions are getting stronger and stronger. I get on the birthing ball and kind of rock back and forth, but I got off the birthing ball because I literally felt like I was sitting on my baby's head and it could come out at any moment. So after I got off the birthing ball, at that point I just felt like I needed to lay down, because I had been up and moving most of the labor process off and on throughout the day. At this point it's evening time. So I lay back down, and I really feel like, okay, this is going to be soon. And then at that point, I was about like 8-9 centimeters. And of course, at that point, baby's going to be coming out any minute. But calculating from when I think back on it, from like 7 centimeters to 10 centimeters, it was like about an hour or so did I transition from 7 to 10. And then when it was time, it was time. You know, like I really felt, because I had done this before, I knew, okay, it's time, let's get this going. Baby's gonna be out soon. So, you know, we're getting everything together and into position to push, and my husband getting in his position, me getting in my position, because this time around I really wanted to catch my baby, because with my other two I didn't do that. But this time I told my midwife, I was like, I really want to make sure that this time around I'm in a position where I can catch the baby and kind of like pull him out, you know, as he's coming out. And I had an opportunity to do that. I didn't get him right away, because I was like in the middle of a contraction and pushing. There's so much going on. But after, you know, his head and a little bit of the shoulders were out, I was able to get him and pull him up onto me. And he was literally out in 3 pushes. So even though labor took a very long time, all day, The pushing part was like literally 3 pushes, and he was out and in my arms and on my chest. And I put him skin to skin, and I just connected with him and bonded with him immediately. And it's just one of those feelings that is so difficult to put into words, but it's so amazing. And within 20 to 30 minutes, he was already breastfeeding, and he latched right on. I put him on one side and let him, like, he actually breastfed on the first side, gosh, like maybe 20 plus minutes, and then I put him on the other side, and he continued to nurse on that side. And of course, we're taking pictures, and everybody's oohing and ahhing and pushing the placenta out. I mean, just like so much is going on, but I'm just happy to have had that opportunity to, you know, become a mom again. And even though, you know, this was a pregnancy that was a total surprise and unexpected, and it took my husband and I a while to really wrap my head around the process, and with some of the complications that I faced during pregnancy, just having everything culminate in that moment with some of the people that were closest to me, and it just being so beautiful and happening the way that I wanted it, as far as being able to do it with no meds and no interventions and not having any complications, and, you know, just nothing wrong happened, you know, and being with a team of people that loved me and understood me and allowed me to have my inspirational music going. And when I'm in labor, I want everything quiet, so, you know, them adhering to that, and then being able to have the birthing ball and move around and not be confined, you know, in positions that were uncomfortable, and then being able to have him come out in 3 pushes and introduced to this beautiful, healthy baby boy, and him latch on right away. And even though breastfeeding then didn't continue to go wonderfully, we're in a good space now, but we had some challenges. But as of his first moment of latching on, it went really well. And I'm just happy to have an opportunity to share my birthing story with you. Of course, you know, I didn't go through every single minute or moment of the day, because then this video would have been uber long. I mean, it's already long enough. But I thank you all for going through the journey with me and continuing the journey. And I have other videos that are posted on the blog that explain and kind of show, you know, us during the labor process. I didn't really want to have video for the delivery process just for personal reasons, but I do have some pictures that I'll be posting, and hope you guys enjoyed the videos of the labor and the mall and the house and this and that and everything that went on. And I'll continue to post videos, like we have baby's first bath on video, and just other things that I'll be sharing with you guys as we continue this healthy baby journey. So until next time, I hope you all have a wonderful holiday season, and I will continue to post. I just don't know if I'll get a chance to do so before Christmas after this video, but I'll post as I'm led to. And I hope you guys continue to connect with us on the journey and share it with other mommies that you feel may enjoy it as well. So until next time, enjoy your journey. Bye.